1, 2, 3. Tag me in
podcast. Back again with another episode. We are doing part 3 of this 5-part series, and in this series we are looking at wish we'd stayed in contact with lost friends. So people we've kind of lost contact with over the years for whatever reasons, and essentially reasons why and the regrets sort of associated with that. So I'm just going to go straight in.
You always do this!
What? The introduction?
Nah!
What?
You always just go straight
What?
in like... I just got to warm myself
boom.
up. So myself, Anton. This is me just defending myself right now.
Cool.
What's
your name?
Anton.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm Ola.
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, brother. Yeah, tag me in and all that. Yeah, good. Yeah, cool. Go straight for it. Go straight for the kill.
Cool, going straight for the kill. Have you ever lost contact with someone?
Yeah.
And when I say lose contact, you're like, yeah. So have you ever sort of lost contact with someone, a friend, an acquaintance, or whatever, for whatever reason? Yes. Cool. Would you ever sort of take responsibility for that? So, I mean, was it more of you distancing yourself as opposed to you genuinely just kind of losing contact over time?
There's too many I'm just got me all tangled right now.
Yeah.
There's too many people.
Raw.
No, there's all different stories. There's like people I
Okay.
distanced myself away from, and there's people that just maybe just fell out and never bounced back from that occasion.
Okay.
So, you know, you could have
It's yeah.
both sides. You could have like time and place. I didn't agree with their actions, or they didn't agree with mine,
Yeah.
and that's how the friendship came to an end, and we haven't spoken since.
Yeah.
But I must say that over time, because you grow as a person, and you grow and you realise maybe you reacted in a certain way, and maybe you could have reacted better because now you're older, you can evaluate that situation. What I find interesting about this whole topic is it's the people that are dying and they're on their deathbed and they're like, I wish I maintain contact with people. So it's not even, I guess when they're saying that, it's more growing apart from people or just losing contact. Because it happens, like, if you think back to the people that you knew from back in like secondary school or even college, how often do you speak to them?
Yeah.
Or do you still speak to them?
Yeah.
And you can only imagine that as you go through life, there's other things that occur. So you might get yourself into a relationship, you might end up moving to a different country because your partner wants to, or maybe has to work in a different country, or you might have a kid and that might just occupy your time, and you might not have that much influence or that much like interaction with your friends anymore, so you slowly grow apart.
And just drift away.
And like I have scenarios like that, especially me coming from London and then moving to Bristol, it just naturally happens, you know. I felt that I came to this conclusion like maybe 4 months ago about proximity in terms of friendship plays a big factor. Yeah. And the reason I say that is if I lived across the world, so let's take it all the way back to like caveman times, you know. If I lived in Australia, would we have contact? Would you go to the effort of, I don't know, making smoke and sending some signal and being like, hi Anton, how you doing?
Probably not. You probably wouldn't even see it, but no. That's you probably wouldn't, no, but realistically, you probably wouldn't. Like, it's like, what's the point? He's far away doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. It is what it is, sort of thing.
So that's how I felt. I kind of...
But then, like, you know, I get your point, but it's times have changed. We're at a point where you can communicate with someone in Australia within a minute. Skype, WhatsApp, phone, there's 1,000,001 different mediums of communication. So I sort of feel like when people kind of use that as an excuse, I'm like, the point you made was really good about people with families and jobs and whatever careers. I get that, you know, raising a family can be extremely time consuming. If you start a business, that again can be extremely time consuming, and in those sort of circumstances, it's understandable that you won't have time to call somebody you haven't spoken to in 15, 20 years. I get that, but...
So would you say for yourself that you've gone through that sort of moment of like...
Mine's interesting because a lot of the people who I've kind of drifted apart from or maybe don't necessarily speak to are people who've, again, we've naturally drifted apart. So it hasn't been a case of like, I'm quite notorious for, I don't really block people or, you know, just ignore people. For me, it's usually we drift apart. My interests are here, your interests are there. There are less things for us to connect with in common. And then over time, we just kind of go our separate ways. Like there are people who, I've still got numbers, but we just don't talk because we're completely different people. we're like completely, genuinely just different people.
Mm.
I've always kind of said to myself, and I've always kind of tried to make that concerted effort to reach out to people. For example, the example of someone having a family. One of my really good friends, Jacob from university, I remember I was at his wedding. This guy literally got married. Was it like university, like 21, 22?
Wow.
And I'm just there like,
Wow.
are you sure? Yeah, I love it. Are you sure, bro? You know what we were doing, kind of thing. Okay, cool. I respect that. I'm there for you, 100%. Didn't see this guy or speak to this guy for, again, up until last year.
Mm.
I'm not on Facebook, but I think I must have been on my sister's Facebook, and like I saw his profile, and it was literally like this little baby girl, and I'm just there like, I'm like, no. And I saw like, because you know you've got your profile picture and there's like another one on top. So you had like 2 different kids, and I was like, when?
When?
This guy, man, no chill. So I was like, nah. I was like, sis, I'm gonna use your Facebook. I messaged him. I was like, yo, this is Ola from uni. Because he kept changing his SIM or whatever, so I lost his number. I'm like, this is my sister's Facebook. I'm not a random person. It's Ola. This is my number. Holler me. You've got a family. This is amazing. Didn't hear from this. I didn't hear anything. Forgot about it. Then like I got a random text like, hey. I'm like, who is this, man? And then he's like, hey, it's Jacob. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, yes, my G. And then within that month, I literally drove down to. So he lives in Cambridge. I drove down to Bristol.
Cambridge.
I drove from Bristol to Cambridge to go see him and his little kids, and I was just like, and for me that was, I sort of, normally I wouldn't have made an effort, but because I know that he had been busy with his family, he wouldn't have time to reach out to a lot of people, and I completely get that.
I that's where I'm like, it's all about prioritizing. You know, you do prioritize your family, but in the same breath, like you need your friends. So he still probably did maintain, and I don't mean this in a rude sort of way, but he probably did maintain some friendships.
Yeah.
He just didn't maintain a friendship with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happens. You know, you prioritize. Maybe your friendship circle gets smaller as your circumstances change.
Yeah.
So I can. So like, let me throw it in another way.
Yeah.
Do you guys speak now? Like, is it continuous or has it just gone back to
normal?
normal?
we do speak. Yeah. Not like in uni. So it wasn't like because we worked together as well. So that was obviously.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
But with this is, how you doing? How are you? We're gonna come see you soon. All right, cool. Yeah, I'd love you guys to come. But obviously, I know you got kids, so maybe we can meet in the middle or somewhere. Blah blah blah. So we do speak, not as often as we used to, but more than before when it was nothing. So there is that friendship and communication, sort of there. Yeah.
So in this moment of time, if you passed away now, is there any friendships that you wish that you kind of put more effort towards, or?
That's a tough question, man.
Let's go with that one, and then there's a second follow-up question.
This guy's going deep, you know. Oh, man.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm gonna confidently but arrogantly say no, and the reason I'm saying that is because I still speak to people from primary school. I went to a wedding of a friend from primary school, and I've always said to myself, I've always tried to make an effort with people. The most part for when that communication isn't there is usually if there's like a block or lack of interest from the other person, which is obviously fine. I can't force you to be friends just because we went to the same primary school or secondary school. So if it's not there, it's not there.
So you're not going to go, I wish I spent more time, I wish I didn't.
That's what I'm trying to... I know what's going to happen. As soon as we stop recording, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to sort of think.
But this in general with friendships then, like, do you wish or do you feel like sometimes you could commit more time or invest more time into friendships as opposed to all the other buckets like, I don't know, business, wealth or physical or anything like that, mental growth, contribution, all those other buckets?
In general, yeah, especially when I was on Snapchat, like I'd see kind of people kind of go on, I'm like, I should be there. I got invited to this, why didn't I go? So there has been those occasions when there's like events or parties or just little gatherings or meet up, and I'm like, I should have gone. I knew this would have been an amazing time to catch up with these people.
So do you have that now?
Yeah.
Ola, you've got 2 minutes left to live.
2 minutes, this guy.
Tag me out.
2 2 minutes.
Are you going to be having that kind of moment going, oh, because obviously you're going to be like, family, friends,
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that happening in your mind? Or are you going to be like, you know
Well,
what?
this is the thing, Anton. I feel like even if you had spent my entire life on a day with my family, then those 2 minutes came, I'd still be like, oh, I wish I'd,
Yeah.
I feel like there'd always be that.
Oh, so you feel like this regret is always going to be one
It's
that you
kind
can
of,
never...
it's not that
You personally,
it's-
you feel like...
No, it's
Nah.
weird. I'm trying to explain. It's like, I'll be happy, but then also I'll be like, I wish I was alive just to spend.
No,
that
but
bit
you
more.
know that's not happening. You're reflecting on life and you're like, damn, I wasted my time doing whatever else when I should have done
This with
because that's what it is. It's a regret of the dying. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I made more effort. I wish I spent more time with friends, or I wish I maintained friendships.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'd be satisfied.
Yeah,
I'd be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll throw it back to you. So, are there any sort of friendships where you sort of feel, yeah, I definitely could have made more effort? Or any people who you haven't spoken to who potentially kind of spring to mind, obviously you don't have to mention names.
Yeah, there's a few. So like, there's two in fact. The last one is because, without naming names, his situation was he had a daughter,
Yeah.
and then he felt like he was doing his part by just providing money. And every time I said, you need to be there for your daughter, you need to see her, she misses you. Because I'm godfather. I'm like, she misses you. And I'm like, you need to step up. Like, coming from, a single parent household as well, like, it's always good to have a second parent there, to have both parents, because you're in a society where that's what you tend to see on TV.
Yeah.
So you want that kind of bubble of like a happy family. And I was saying, he's like, no. When she's like 18, like she can come find me. I was like, rah.
Oh, wow.
And then there was this moment, I think I hear a question that's like, if you died today, would you regret like not spending time with her?
Yeah.
He said, no. What I probably would regret is having her.
Oh, shit.
That was the last time we spoke.
Okay, but
that was like
Savage.
3-4 years ago. And like, now that I think about it,
yeah.
he was young. He might have changed. Maybe I need to understand where he's coming from.
But
Maybe I need to support him as a friend and be like, okay, maybe not now, but let's work towards this. At that moment in time, I was like, I couldn't respond. I was just like, I'm not about this. Like, I can't support you as a friend in this.
I wouldn't regret that sort of friendship though.
Yeah. But there's moments where I'm thinking, it was a good friendship, but just that element of his life and the way that he handled it, I just couldn't support.
So he wasn't like that in other aspects?
No.
Like that sort of attitude?
Just when it came to something that's so big as a child. That's
Have you
his
seen
attitude.
her before? Like, have
Yeah,
you-
yeah. But then all of a sudden he just went boom. It's like, nah. Issues with the
Baby
mother of the
mum.
child.
Yeah,
I don't like the term baby mum. The mother of the child.
Okay.
And like,
Because I'm just, that wouldn't make sense for me to just.
so, but in time, I'm like, it was a good friendship, and I'm like, but would I reach out? There's moments I'm like, yeah, I should, but I don't know if I've come to a place where I'm willing to accept his opinion, his decision.
Does he know why you stopped communicating?
Yeah.
Like, did you say, brother, I'm not going to chat to you because X, Y, Z? Or was it just, you just kind of ghosted them on that?
I think that was the last time.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yo.
And then the second example was, when was I? I think I turned like, was it 20 or 21? Way back. So a good friend from like secondary school, college, through, he didn't go to my uni, but like we still kept in contact. He was my boy.
Yeah.
And like, there was this one moment where this guy just ghosted. He just disappeared.
Face to the earth.
And he just popped up on my birthday. And he was like, hey brother, how you doing? I was like, I'm good.
How long are we talking though?
Like months, like 3-4 months. Just
Well, like, did you
ghosted.
contact them? And you
Yeah,
just like,
it was ghosted. I was like, rah.
wow.
So I'm like, everything cool.
Everything okay?
And he's like, yeah.
Okay.
And I can't, this is the problem with me. I couldn't accept that. I couldn't be like, huh? What's going on? Like, you need to reveal what's been
No.
happening in the past 3-4
Been
months.
missing for 3 months. Were you kidnapped? Were you in prison? What's been...
Well, go on, tell me. Like,
Got a child?
let me know. He's like, no, everything's cool. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, raw. And like, my definition of a friendship right then, and like what we had, like, it was like, he was close, we were basically best friends. And I was like, hey, bro, but like, I thought we're boys. Like, we're supposed to tell everything, just whatever, just lay it out. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm not feeling this.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Now, looking back on it, I'm like, okay, maybe he was going through shit. Maybe he wasn't ready to talk about it. Maybe I need to give him a bit of space and then come back later and be like, yo, what happened then? So like, those are the two kind of moments in my life.
Yeah. Now that I'm sort of like remembering another one. So yeah, for me it was like, yeah, that kind of best friend, boys, did everything together, went out, got girls, this and that, just like painting the town red. And then just sort of, I guess like the last example you just mentioned now was like that kind of disappearance. But it wasn't like months, it would be like over the weekend or days. And I was like, you're probably with your missus. Because like there'll be times when he'll be with me, then his girlfriend will call, he'll be like, no, don't tell him here. She's like, where is he? I really want, and I'm just like, right, no wonder he's kind of... So it was always just that kind of like banter side. She'll be like, where is he? But then sort of after a while, it was weird because I felt like I was sort of part of their relationship. Like we literally would have three-way conversations about their relationship. This is obviously back in uni, Friday or Thursday night, I'm on my bed, the phone's on my ear. Like, you know when you just walk around the room, you sit on like the door, like you go on, you just do limbo.
I sit on my desk and everything.
Yeah, like we're just on the phone for like 3 hours. But like it was all cool because it was always love. But then I think sort of after a while, the relationship started to get a bit toxic. And obviously me being me, I was like, although they're kind of making me part of the relationship, I know that I'm not in the relationship. So there's only so much I can say and do. Anyway, I think the relationship started getting quite serious. There were cases where the police would get called out.
Oh shit! Wow.
And I obviously wasn't sort of told until like later on.
Yeah.
It was like the police came, so and so got arrested. He disappeared, or I found X on his phone, or I saw this on her phone, and it was like, this is just sort of not healthy. And then the sort of disappearance just appeared, and there was a point when I had a birthday party. Invited my boy. He didn't come for whatever reason. I wasn't given a reason. I was like, oh, whatever. It happens. We're probably busy. Then like the next week, I think I saw on Snapchat at another party of a random person, and I'm like, yeah, I was just like, wow, like, raw. There was no, sorry, I couldn't come. There was nothing. Then it was that kind of ghost, just kind of disappeared, and I just kind of from there I just kind of left it at that, because for me it was, you know what, we're at different points in our lives. Like I've kind of gone to university, I've done X, Y, Z. Not to kind of look down on you in any way, but you've kind of taken this direction, you're doing this, which isn't, you know, the greatest thing. We just reached a crossroad. It was like, you've gone there, I've gone there. And for me, there wasn't regret in the sense of, oh, I wish. It was just a case of, we've grown up, we're taking different paths. And I think in those sort of situations, for the most part, for me anyway, there wasn't or isn't really regret, because it wasn't like we just lost communication. It was, we have grown apart. We are different people.
But did you say, you know how you asked me, did you say that to him?
No.
Yeah.
Because again, like no, there just was no communication. It was just, change your number again. I can't even if I wanted to, sort of thing. But still got his, I don't even know why, his ex kind of girlfriend's number, and I'm just like, once in a while I'm like, should I maybe kind of message her to sort of see? But I highly doubt. Yeah,
don't do that, route.
That's the thing. I highly doubt.
Oh, do you know he done this? He done that?
Yeah, like, oh, here we go again. But the thing is, I highly doubt they're sort of in communication anyway.
Yeah.
But again, it's a shame that these sort of things happen. But again, it's like a part of life. It's sort of, there's these like cheesy quotes about not everyone you're with now will be with you on your journey in the next 10, 15, however many years. And I think it's important to bear that in mind when thinking about the regrets of not spending time. Because you might run the risk of regretting not spending time with the wrong people, or people who are maybe sort of toxic. Fair enough, we've all got our problems, but you still need to understand having that support system needs to be in place there.
Mm.
And it's just, it is.
But it's nurturing it, isn't it? It's like making sure it's fed and watered, like your friendships. So, you know, we're going to go through so many transitions in the next 10, 15, 20 years. We need to make sure that, although there's so much things happening in our lives and so many changes, like work, business, relationships, kids, whatever, that element of that element of friends is still up there. So maybe just organising or structuring a set moment for friendships, like Monday to Sunday could be just kids, and that's all right.
Yeah.
But maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe a Saturday morning, you make that effort with your friends.
100%.
And like that's what I'm conscious trying to tell myself right now, because I've definitely been in a space where I've been like super tunnel vision, focusing on building my craft, building whatever, building Anton, building everything. And a lot of times it's been like, put my head up every now and again. I'm like, friends alright? And they're like, yeah. I'm talking about, where have you been?
Yeah.
And it's only now that I'm starting to listen to that, because if I passed away, that will probably be one of my regrets as well. Like maybe I should have put more time. Maybe I should put more effort. So like, it's always something on my mind now, and I'm like, all right, I'm at this stage now, and like, I've got like abundance of time right now.
Yeah.
So like, there's little improvements that's been happening. So responding to WhatsApp, because my fault on WhatsApp and being responsive is I'm doing stuff, I can't respond right now. Like, it's a distraction. Yeah. It's like, I'm not in the time, I'm not in the mind frame to be responding. But I read something the other day, it was like, if something's going to take you like a minute to do, don't delay it, just do it then and there.
Yeah.
And by doing that, people actually like that about you. Like, wow, Anton, you changed.
Yeah.
Damn, you're responsive. What's going on? You're making an effort now.
What's her name? What's going on?
And it's like, no. Like, especially like New Year's, I made sure that I sat down, I took that time out, and I reached out to like everyone that I felt close with.
Yeah.
And I basically just evaluated my friendship with them and what I've seen from them in a year.
Yeah.
Like their wins, their lows, where they're going, what their goal is for 2018.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt like I'm a friend, I'm part of your life, and I'm making it clear to you. So this is what I've got to say. And it's all good, it's all love.
Yeah.
It's like, I love you for, you know, I've got one friend that started up a restaurant. I was like, I love you for what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like, you are, you know, you're inspiring. I see you, I've come to your shop, I've worked in your shop. I get tired from doing it, but you do it day and night, and you're doing your thing. And I'm just like, yes. I don't speak to him that much, but I'm just trying to make that connection.
You know, I quite like that, because I did a similar thing, again, sort of around Christmas, but I wanted to be a bit more personal. So what I sort of did was, I just thought, it's not really me, but let me try it. Bought some Christmas cards, writing little messages. It wasn't just a cheesy Merry Christmas, Ola. You know, there was a bit more. There was Merry Christmas, Joe, Mary. You know, thanks for being such a great friend. I've known you since 2010, 2011. I'm glad, you know, you and X are still together. Hope you push through. Congratulations on the house. Thanks for inviting me to that party. You know, your friends are amazing. You're amazing. And I kind of sent it off.
Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, literally, it was kind of like encouragement of thank you for being in my life, sort of thing. So it was all these little different messages to a few people. Sent it out. I even sent one international to my cousin in Amsterdam. The stamps, I spent so much in stamps, but I was like, well, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be 18 stamps. What?
I'm like, what? I guess international, so that's like an extra £4 plus VAT, so it's £28, but it's Christmas special.
This is pre-Brexit.
So it's 51, pre-boxing, you know, post-Christmas Eve, so it's going to be quite, oh man. But sent the Christmas cards out, and I kind of forgot about it. Then I sort of remember within the next sort of few days, even up until the first week in January. I don't know how, because my cousin only got his one recently. I had just messages, people saying, "Hey, I got a card. Was it?
Hey, stranger.
Was it from you? Like, I know a few others. This was you, wasn't it?" I was like, what you took? Oh yeah, I sent that a while back. Oh, Allah. You know, so thank you so much. This means a lot to me. We don't spend that much time together, but thank you. Like, you know, you've reached out to me. You've given me more than just a generic message. My cousin was like, "Hey, I got your card. Like, wow, like, thank you so much. Like, this means a lot." And even my friend who sort of got the kids like, "Oh man, thank you very much. It's been so busy here. We're definitely gonna come and see you. Like, this means a lot." And then there was just a lot of that, and people were like, "This is really kind of you. Thank you for thinking about me, having me in your thoughts." And for me, it was just that touch of more than just a little text, that generic text you send to all your contacts: "Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, bye." That you don't kind of speak to them for another 12 months. This was, "You have meant a lot to me. I've gone out, I've bought cards. I don't usually do this. I'm writing, I'm just letting you know how I feel. Like, I know we don't speak every day, but you are important to me." But just kind of taking it to another segment, I do want to ask, do you believe in like new friends? Yeah. And the reason I ask is I meet people, and a lot of people have this whole kind of like no new friends mentality.
No new friends,
like,
no new friends. No,
it's,
no,
it's,
no.
I feel like they limit themselves because it's like you only keep friends from old or past. You don't allow new people in who could be influential and positive in your life. And it frustrates me because it's like you don't really choose. You choose your friends, but you don't get to choose the pot they come from primary school, secondary school, college.
Like you kind of reach a maximum quota. You're like,
yeah,
that's it. So
and it's like, oh, that's it.
So,
whereas when you're an adult, you get to choose to these sort of events and places you go and the people you mingle with, and so you have a lot more choice. And your friends are more aligned with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas primary school, secondary school is more based on location and whatever. And I'm just like, but these are the times when you meet some of the best people, I feel.
Yeah, I
say, like, wouldn't you, like, I don't know if you'd agree, but I feel like we've met, well, let me speak for myself, I feel like I've met some really amazing people in the last few years, post-university, when I've kind of put myself in very specific situations. And I'm like, you are the people I want to spend my time with. I like what you people bring to the table. So you believe in new friends?
Yeah, because I say it goes hand in hand with growth. Because not everyone or all your past friends are going to grow with you. You know, you're going to have different interests.
Hard lessons for me.
Different passions, different loves. You know, you're going to go through changes. And to say that, oh, I'm only going to ride with people that I know from primary school.
It's that whole, oh, my day one.
Day one,
like,
but
day one doesn't mean, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. So like, as you grow, you're going to start trying new things and you're going to start going to these new places. And you're going to meet people that you're going to click with because they like what you like. So for those people that actually, you know, say day ones and I can't have no new friends, like, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, in that scenario, in that situation, meeting new people going, that was great, but however, we can't be friends because I've got...
pot is filled.
Yeah. So I don't know if that truly exists. Like, does it?
I heard the quote a lot. I don't have enough friends. I have too many friends.
Yeah. Maybe that's just because they're actually in a place where they're not going out to new things. Or their friends, are, like their current friends, is literally share the same interests, share the same love. Like, maybe they all grew at the same time together.
Yeah.
I don't know how common that is. Yeah, I feel like everyone grows at different rates. It'd be great to meet someone that's been like, yeah, these are my friends, and when I go to new events, I turn around, I'm like, sorry, no new friends, because my friends are the ones that are there anyway, so like, going back one, you spoke about appreciation, like expressing your appreciation, your gratitude to people. And I definitely have to agree that does go a long way, especially in this whole, you know, discussion around friendship. Just little things like, I rate you for X, Y, Z. Yeah. And I have to give you credit because there's one time where you wrote a thank you like card.
Oh yeah.
And I read it the other day and I was like, it hit me again, like second. It's like, I deeped it. Yeah. I was like, Ola actually appreciates his friendship. 100%. I rate you. Yeah. And I was just like, and it's interesting because like with the Christmas cards that you gave to people, like they might stumble across it in 6 months' time, and it's reinforced them to like, oh, Allah rates the friendship. And even if they're in a place of where, for example, your friend Jacob, who been like looking after the family and everything like that, he might read the card in 6 months' time and be like, things are a lot quieter now. I did say to Allah I was gonna go out and reach out, so let me do it. And that might just build some momentum, and then all of a sudden, like, you guys are like in and out each other's houses. Yeah. But I always feel like sometimes in life you do have to kind of put that pause button and then evaluate friendships, and you have to evaluate the contribution that you put in towards friendships. Because you can, and I'm guilty of this, you can be this tunnel vision.
But is that necessarily bad though? Because you're doing it to.
It is bad if you die.
Oh, right.
On a real.
Bottom line, yeah.
On a real. If you die, or you're told that you got 2 hours left, you're going to be like, was it worth sitting in front of my Mac for 18 hours?
100 hours kind of trying to get.
Was it worth holding off? I got 14 unread messages from 14 people on WhatsApp. Should I have just replied and said, hi, I'm great, how are you? You know them? So,
but on that, and again, I know you sort of mentioned this in like previous episodes, and you sort of read the book, 7 Habits, I believe it is, and you said there's this section towards the end that really sort of hit you about you being at your own funeral and having people there. Where you are now, and sort of being brutally honest, let's get it out on the podcast. So, obviously, it's not a nice thing to think about, but you're at your funeral, friends, family are there, but let's kind of focus on friends. Are there, in terms of what you believe people will have to say about you, what are the opinions? What are they saying? Are they saying Anton never hollered me, or Anton's rude?
Yeah.
Or what are people
all
saying
of the
about
above.
Anton?
So people, what I have in mind is, if you call me a number of times, and you get, if you call me, I tend to pick up, or I will call back.
Yeah. And
if it's desperate, if you call, leave a voicemail or a message after that, for sure I will drop everything. Yeah. That's one thing people could say about me.
Yeah.
Like, I will, in time of need, I've got that level of like, shit, fuck everything.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but like, fuck whatever deadline I set myself. Like, this person needs that support, or needs someone to talk to, or just needs a favour.
Yeah.
Or just needs, just needs someone to just have their ear and just be like,
listen to it.
And, I'll definitely go out with that. I may have some people that be like, right, you should have reached out a bit more, you should have hollered. In terms of maybe like the way I approach things and like not sugarcoat things sometimes, that will definitely be brought up. And maybe, what's the right word? Sometimes I see things black and white. So there may be a scenario and I'm like, nah, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, you need to look at it this way. Yeah. I'm like, no. But I can only see it my way. And annoyingly, I see things really late. It takes me a very long time to process things. It takes me a long time to realise when I'm wrong. And when I'm wrong, I always put up my hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, shit, I made a mistake there. So I think those are the things that people would say. And I'm happy with that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I was going to ask.
I'm completely happy with that, because at the end of the day, people know I'm there.
Yeah.
People know that I'm a good friend.
I think it'll be interesting to actually hear the people say it. But
I don't think Anton's a waif, man. I don't even know what I talk about.
Why is he even saying on the podcast? Because no, me and him had an argument last week. You're talking about he's a sweet boy, man's sour in it, sour milk.
What about you? Funeral, your friends are there. All I was.
All I was.
And are they going to say the things that you want them to say about
it? This is the thing, I think. Obviously, this is my opinion of what they think. I could be completely wrong, but I'd like to believe.
Little disclaimer.
Yeah, no, obviously, I'd like to believe I'm as close as possible. But again, you never really know. You never know. I think sort of nearest and dearest people I sort of speak, the people I kind of communicate with often, so daily, whether that's WhatsApp, call, whatever, memes. I'm fairly confident that there will be sort of a lot of love there. Ola had my back. He made me laugh. He was cool. He was there. He definitely a really good listener. I'd listen to a lot of my kind of problems, because I do feel as though I'm that air for quite a few people, because quite a few people will sort of reach out for me to just listen, and I'm absolutely fine with that. Absolutely fine with that. But then at the same time, there are people who, it's weird because I feel like I've got quite a few I'm not sures. I'm not sure in terms of I'm not sure of their opinion, because that's based on reasons primarily. Some people are just extremely hard to read. some of them we may have had issues in the past and then resolved it, but again, you never know. Then some, maybe the communication, or we don't speak as often. You know, you can't have 100 best friends. You're going to be really close to some, not so close to others, and so they sort of fit in that category. But I definitely sort of say immediately it would be good and positive of, yeah, he was there, he listened. And I've been making a conscious effort to reach out to those who are sort of slightly outside and I'm a bit unsure about, to kind of make sure see if we're in a good place. So I definitely sort of say for the most part it would be good, but I think there's always going to be room for improvement. That's definitely something I've been sort of trying to do in terms of like reaching out to people and whatnot. But again, not perfect. You know, movement to go. You got to keep kind of pushing and moving and striving. And I'm definitely sort of open to new friendships and new communications. Because again, like I said, I think because a lot of the events we go to and I go to, like the people there are the type of people I want to be mingling with. Because you are at an event that I'm very interested in. You're very interested in. There are so many kind of common threads, and I'm just like, let's build, let's go.
Whatever. Like, it's interesting because like we always say like you're the average of your 5 closest friends. Yeah. And like it's been an eye opener to me recently that a lot of the times when we say that, it's more about like growth. It's all about like kind of business sense sometimes, where it should be all aspects. And this is something new that's been like kind of playing on my mind. It should be like you should have someone there who's ultra loving, who could actually show you how to love more. That they should be in your circle.
Okay, that's what I mean.
They should be like that deep thinker.
Yeah.
If you need that in your life, they should be in your circle. So it shouldn't just be like go-getters, strivers, whatever. It should just be like, nah, Daisy is like as sweet as buttercups, and like she is just like the most lovable person.
Buttercups.
And I love so much about her, like, and you just bear stuff with it. And she's part of your circle.
That's what I mean. So it's kind of like looking at all the different aspects, so not just business, like you said, and energy. It could be the emotional aspects, or learning how to open up emotionally, not being afraid, communication. That friend who's like, you need to message people, so then your communication levels will increase. That person who's maybe sort of like health and fitness, but not just that, but mental fitness and like spiritual. So I guess I see what you mean, like looking at all different aspects, not just like business and like vocation and money and whatnot. That's I like that one, you know.
But just to like, you know, bring it close to the end. So what things could you do now to ensure that when you die or on your deathbed, you don't have this regret? Is there anything that you're thinking of doing?
The main thing would be sort of consistency. So it, like, sort of Christmas Day, it's not that messaging someone, they're not speaking again until the next year. It's like, it's just kind of, because when I look at it, I'm just like, bro, we don't chat, man. What's going on there? There aren't that many, but I'm just like, consistency of conversation, consistency of friendship. I know you're busy, I'm busy, I get it, but let's at least try to speak a bit more. So for me, it's that consistency.
So I'm getting more of a communication as opposed to actually seeing each other.
But then that will, because with the communication, it will be communication, developing the friendship, and obviously eventually meeting up. So it would be in line with it. I kind of put it under that communication of friendship. Let's kind of stay in contact more often. Let's meet up. Alright, cool. When are you free? Next weekend? Yeah, that works for me. 10? Alright, cool. It's on.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
I'm beating you.
Super competitive.
I've got to bring that fun aspect. And kind of, just kind of bringing it to you. Is there any aspect that you would kind of look to maintain or want to focus on in terms of like friendships? Or new.
I think just communicating about my life and the balance in my life, and making it very clear that, you know, this is the friendship and I'm going to try and do everything for it. Like almost having like a rule of engagement in terms of a friendship, that I'm not the best at communicating and it seems like you want to be communicating every day. Is there a compromise? Is there a middle ground? And then once you establish that, it could build onto how frequently should we see each other, sort of thing. So like, it's almost like defeating against expectations, because a lot of friendship is kind of like, I had this expectation that, you know, you was going to contact me or call me like at least 3 times a week, and it's like,
Yeah.
So maybe just having that conversation and be like, is everything cool? You know, like, I know that I'm probably the most unorthodox person around, but like, is everything cool?
Yeah.
What could I do better? Asking that question. I think that's another thing. Just hitting friends and be like, you know, this friendship thing, like, is everything cool with it?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything that I could improve in? Because I think that's an element of friendship as well, where you could turn to a friend and be like, is there anything that I need to change?
Yeah.
Because if they could just say one thing, yeah, it'd be cool if we could just like meet up every month. And then you can start thinking, okay, how can I schedule that in? So having that level of consistency. So once a month you see them. So then you're not on your deathbed going, oh shit, the last time I saw them was like 8 months. You've got a set thing. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm going to see them in 3 months. And like it becomes such a habit that it's just a norm. So even when you have kids, you're like, but I'm meeting Tony on every month. Like, Tony, cool, I can't meet you this month, so it's going to be 5 weeks, but like, we're still going to try and maintain this.
We'll maintain that. Or even, oh, Tony, you got kids, I got kids, let's go to the park together, let's go Legoland.
Yeah.
Just finding ways to kind of...
So it's like building that foundation of a friendship. So having like people come together when it's like events, like Wireless, for example. Like every year they go Wireless, and it's like, do you remember Wireless 2013? Yeah, that was sick. So like just finding that common thing that I share with people. And I've done this a long time ago. I forgot what book it is, but there's a book where it tells you about like how to look at your friendship and how to work out what you have between your friendship. So what characteristics, what qualities, and what common interests you have. And when you start having that in mind, you could be like, hey, so and so like music. I don't see them all the time, but we both like, for example, Kendrick Lamar, he's coming. I'm reaching out to him, so every time, you know, we can hit out and go to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So it's just like those little things. So communicating, asking those questions, and then finding, or maybe just like having that commitment to meet up with people on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Are the 3 things that I'm trying to take in, you know, as I step into life every single day. Like, I'm just trying to build it up. So yeah.
Okay. I want to see these friendships flourish then.
And do you reckon there's a maximum numbers of like friends that you could have?
It's a tough yes and no. No, because there shouldn't be a number on friendships.
Yeah.
But then yes, in terms of realistically, how many people can you sort of see and spend time with and have good quality relationships.
Yeah.
But I'd say in terms of very close people you're spending like most of your time, I'd probably go for the 5.
Yeah.
And even that's quite a bit if you really think about it.
Hi.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always good if like all your friends, like those 5 people, are friends with each other.
That is, I'm a bit different because with my sort of friends and friendship groups, everyone's different. If that makes sense. Everyone's got their own like. We sort of mentioned.
I'd say it'd be easier though.
Yeah, they're all just friends. But then if they ever went out and did like something without you, you'd be like, "What? You went away without me? How dare you?"
But like, I look at my aunt and uncle and their friends, and I have seen a change recently. Because before everyone used to come to my aunt and uncle's house, and they got kids, and like they used to come around on Friday, get Chinese together and everything.
Oh shit!
And like now. Like all the friends start to get into like serious relationships, start having kids, so you don't see them that often. So it is getting less and less frequent. But yeah, I feel like maybe just having like a friends come round on a Saturday sort of thing, like or even time with the family, and they're happy with that. Like, how you doing, uncle? How you doing, auntie? That sort of stuff. Where it's integrated. So like not much has changed except for the kids that are around. But they go to bed at 7 o'clock. Then we can have
friendship is still deep. Yeah, my mum, I think that's one thing I do like about my mum. Like, she's definitely sort of, and my dad actually, they've made sure they've maintained friendships over 20 plus year periods, children, country differences, like they've maintained that. What my mum usually does is her and her friends will come to the house. Mum, what's going on? There's like 10 luggage bags around. What's going on? You going to Nigeria? Me and my friends were just going to Italy for the weekend.
That's right.
Go buy shoes and that. Just these Nigerian women with their gilly, they just go.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I rate that.
Yeah.
You guys you've all had kids. You've been married. A few of you are divorced, but you all make an effort to go out and spend quality time.
Yeah.
Same with my dad. His boys come like every year Christmas. And every couple weeks, every week, I'm saying every other week, they're like at his house, they're chatting, they're shouting. Dad, we're trying to go to bed, close the door. They're like just talking, eating Nigerian meat, and I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
You maintain, because I feel like the older you get, the more you need to maintain those friendships. Because once you've got family, you're kind of, to a certain degree, not locked, but you know how you're tied down in a certain way. Like you have to be there for your family, and you want to be there. And because of that, like we mentioned, you do kind of lose those friendships. So it's just interesting to kind of see how our parents and uncles and aunties have kind of dealt with these situations. And I think it's important for us to kind of bear that in mind and kind of take that forward with our friendships and just, like you said, make that effort, make it, you know, a habit, make it routine. So it's just standard, it's the norm. It's, I've got this person to speak to when things are getting a bit heated, then I'm a bit down, I can speak to this person so I don't, you know, eat into myself these problems. I can, because that saying of a problem shared is a problem halved, I think that helps a lot in this sort of situation. So it goes a long way. It definitely kind of goes a long way.
I think there's definitely a lot that you learn from like elders, you know, just watching their friendships. You just made that kind of clear right now, so I'm definitely gonna write that down, and that's like my action for the next few weeks. That's cool. But yeah, that was
brilliant.
That was a good episode.
That was a nice one. Like that one. You're gonna reach out to some people.
Well, right now.
Not now, but like after we finish up.
I'm still thinking about that one.
Yeah.
What about you?
Maybe we'll see.
Like 4-page letter.
Yeah, like just want you to know, basically. Yeah.
Obviously, back then, like I was kind of like I was like 10, and like
you know.
I didn't mean to steal your marbles, but
I know, but you took my Lego, so obviously I had to clap back in. You know how the game goes. Yeah. I'm kidding, but
right. In close is the marble that I stole from you.
This guy.
I hope we can be friends from this point on.
No, brilliant. But no, I think that brings us to a close of
yeah.
this episode. I think that was definitely a good one. I think what we definitely love to hear from people is friendships. If you sort of had friendships where you've cut people out for a specific reason, or you've just kind of lost contact, and do you wish to we kind of kindle that friendship? Or have you been the person someone has cut out, and do you sort of know why? So definitely kind of reach out to us, let us know why. Leave comments on our iTunes, we'd greatly appreciate it. And then we're also on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere. Like, we're out there. So definitely sort of reach out, and then we'll be back with parts 4 and 5. And we really hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, thank you for your support. Yeah, that is us.